Hello world. Raoul is comfortably sat on the cross as his presence sends a feeling of dread into the close-by people. We see Princess Victoria call out to him. Raoul ignores this and focuses on how nostalgic this event is, particularly on the beating of Sandra. And to boot, no matter how Raoul looks at it, Victoria is the evil one here. But in everyone else's eye, she is virtuous and kind. To Raoul, this kind of thing no longer matters. Because even back then, these disgusting people totally enjoyed his purging. But it also seems they forgot what happened right afterward to both the princess and Sandra. This cooks the citizens badly, and they honestly might even be crapping themselves right now. Regardless, Raoul wants to introduce all the actors of his play. First off is the saint, Christiana. Next up is the archmage Wendell, followed by Dame, Sandra. Lastly, we have the main character of this play, Mama's Boy. Nope, I was just joking. I don't think Raoul even knows this guy exists. The actual last person is Princess Victoria. And of course, she is the main character of Raoul's play. The princess thinks she is him and tries to pull a no reverse card on Raoul. She says the actual star of the show should be the former hero himself, Raoul. But Raoul actually being him roasts her back. He says he is quite shocked that the attention-seeking princess would pass over the leading role to him. Like anyone else, she is pretty mad about this. I mean, if I was her, I would be mad too after getting burnt like that. In order to make this stage more entertaining, Raoul wants to tell everyone a little story. This story especially goes to the common people. After all, they love the moment when the vile true colors of those who reach the top get completely exposed. You see, the princess and the dame aren't the only ones that betrayed the former hero. Raoul will now share the story of Archmage Wendell. This shakes Wendell's mind, but despite that he says nothing. Raoul, using dark magic, shows us what exactly happened when the princess captured and imprisoned him. We see the princess doing some BDSM flogging Raoul. She asks why he still has so much spirit even after the murder of his sister. Raoul is Sigma and stone face, and in response the princess threatens to station the unalive fetus of his dead sister in front of him. In retaliation, Raoul says he is going to tear her apart if she continues to trample on his loved ones. But the princess does not want that. She just wishes that Raoul would have just given her his body and heart. She even calls him a silly goose for some weird reason. Suddenly a door is opened and the princess is startled. The man seems to grab the attention of Raoul, and of course he did. After all, it was his comrade, Wendell. This reliefs Raoul. He asks how Wendell is, whether he was hurt or not, and how he was threatened back then to backstab him. In response, the stud of a man apologies to Raoul, especially for how he is being tortured right now. Wendell says that he is indeed being threatened by Victoria. According to him, the only way Victoria will leave them be is if Raoul becomes her manservant. Raoul takes note that by using plural, Christiana must also be captured. It pains Raoul to know that just because of this stupid reason, the princess killed his sister and has captured his comrades. With tears, Wendell pleads with Raoul to sacrifice himself for them. In an act of selflessness and with sparkles in his eyes, Raoul agrees to it. He doesn't want anyone else to get hurt over his body, so he will happily give up himself for them. This act comes as a surprise to Wendell, and it is here he decides to show his true colors. He laughs at Raoul and asks if he is a fool. Since innocent little Raoul still didn't get what has happened, Wendell goes on. He keeps on laughing while calling Raoul lowly. He doesn't view Raoul as the world's strongest hero, but the world's strongest imbecile. Raoul, still not getting what has happened, asks what Wendell is talking about. He says everyone has betrayed him. He doesn't even have a single comrade. And I can't lie, in as much as this guy is vile, he does have pretty cool panels. Anyway, Raoul asks if this is really the case, and Wendell doubles down. He says all of Raoul's comrades are either dead or were never his comrade to begin with. In disbelief, Raoul questions Wendell. Didn't he put his life on the line as a comrade to fight the Demon King? Wendell says he never once saw Raoul as a comrade. To him, Raoul was always just a stepping stone. It is then that it finally hits Raoul and he starts to cry. But of course, Wendell, just like the princess, is a sore winner and has to rub salt in his wound. He says Raoul is a baby and asks if he wants to suck on his sister's boobs. Oh wait, but she is dead. Wait a minute, why are there cracks on the screen? Just then we see current day Wendell has broken Raoul's magic and is now in battle with him. This upsets Raoul since the climax was just about to come up. In response, Wendell uses his favorite insult and calls him a crybaby. But you see, Raoul is playing chess, not checkers. The public start questioning if Wendell is really that sick in the head. But quick on his feet, Archmage Wendell uses his looks to persuade the people and discredit Raoul. The women fall head over heels for him, and even Raoul is shocked by the absolute fatherless behavior soothing from them. From this one win, Wendell gets full of himself and tries to end this war of public perspective with one move. No matter how far you have succumbed to the power of darkness, for you to no longer be able to tell the difference between right and wrong is. But before Wendell finishes, Raoul uses magic to dispel Wendell. It turns out it was just an illusion, or shadow clone or something. This comes as a surprise to the princess as well, and hopefully or hopefully not, she learns that trusting a backstabber to not backstab her is stupid. Raoul screams that he hopes for him and Wendell to have a proper conversation in person next time. Raoul then sets his eyes on his next target, Saint Christiana. Christiana, in defense of her own life, tries to make a plea for Raoul. She claims to have never betrayed him. Raoul, being 10 steps ahead, rebuttals by telling her this. Is that so? Weren't you the ringleader pulling the strings from the shadows, Christiana? You were also the one that instigated the princess, right? I already know the whole picture. Also, the way you talk is fake. You aren't working right now, so why don't you talk normal? And this is what I love about this manga. The way Raoul so gracefully exposes these people, it's like music to my ears. Christiana, knowing that she has been exposed, begins to talk normally. She describes herself as a spoiled brat. She also calls Raoul a pervert for knowing so much about her. She is definitely an interesting person, to say the least. Christiana says she was just sharing love stories with the princess. Raoul sees through the cap and uses magic once again to show the people a vision of the past. We are taken to the Auerbach castle, prior to the Demon King's subjugation. We see the princess alongside Sandra, standing before Raoul Evans and his party. They tell her they're on their last stretch of the Demon King's subjugation and will be entering their final battle. Of course, as Raoul is saying all these important stuff, the princess is busy thinking of doing certain actions with Raoul that will most certainly get my video age restricted. Christiana can see this and immediately points it out. Of course, the simp has to come in and defend the princess. Christiana claims she was just glad that she got to meet the princess after so long. But in addition to that, she says that the princess's heart has been stolen by Raoul. I mean, even the supposed saint finds him enchanting, to say the least. And I find it ironic that the princess is calling Christiana shameless. She also will execute Christiana if she continues to insult her. Christiana claims that she has heard the Lord's voice, and she wants to convey it to the princess. In response, she asks if the Lord thinks they can control her life. Christiana is not backing down and adds on that the Lord told her that the princess and Raoul are fated to be united. This caught the interest of the princess, and Christiana continues. The Lord said that only the princess can save Raoul. And at this point, the princess's attention has been captured, like a fly to a trash bin. Princess Victoria asks for more, and of course Christiana obliges. She says that Raoul is trying his best to save the people and is gaining a lot of attention. She says that with how things are going right now, he is practically gonna take the place of the god. This is wrong because Raoul is a hero and just a mere boy before the Lord. So for his sake, the princess should act on her love and desire Raoul more naturally and lovingly. As she is saying all of this, she starts to use her magic to not only restrain Sandra but also brainwash the princess. Furthermore, Christiana says that the princess will need to bring out his masculine desires and turn him into a wild animal. This seems to be like candy to the princess's ears, and she is now in Christiana's perverted trance. But oh no, Christiana doesn't seem to be done yet. She says that when those conditions are met, Raoul will no longer be able to live without the princess. Yes, corrupting and stripping him of his duties and making him the princess's dog is just right. Christiana says that because she is the saint, she has brought salvation to so many people and is sure that she will also bring salvation to the princess. It is then that the princess starts having perverted fantasies about Raoul. She literally imagines him to be doing Susie stuff with her. Like she is actually insane. She literally starts having a you-know-what right then and there. As if she couldn't get any worse, she asks Sandra to look into any and everyone that is related to Raoul. Basically becoming that crazy ex that stalks you. The look on Christiana's face says that this is going all according to plan. And I guess Raoul was right about her being the mastermind of everything. I wonder what everyone thinks of the saint now that she has been exposed. Well, leave a like and subscribe for part 8, and also Happy New Year, guys. Have a nice rest of your day.